to be repaired, we have definitely given some thought as to where we are in life and what we're doing here. What are we doing in the earth? What were we doing before that was so great that we're not doing now that caused us to realize that we're not strong on our game? What's causing us to realize that we are not doing things to the fullest extent that we were before? Recognizing that you need to be strengthened is something that we should be striving for absolutely every day as a believer. Everyone should recognize that we are striving to be our strongest, and every day we can use our life experience to gain strength, to gain resistance against the things that may come against us that may want to weaken us. That's just what we do as a believer. Plain and simple, right? I want to talk about Habakkuk. Habakkuk chapter 2. I'm going to read the verse chapter 2, verse 1, and a portion of verse 2, because that's what we're going to talk about for the next few moments. It says, I will stand my watch and set myself on the rampart and watch to see what it'll say to me and what I'll answer when I am corrected. Then the Lord answered me and said, write the vision. And we'll stop right there. So as I was reading this, I began to think about my time in the military. And everyone knows, especially if you're in the Navy, everyone stands watch. Everyone gets their moment to stand watch. And in standing watch, we know that we are guarding something of value, something that is of value to us, something that is of value to the mission and those whom we serve. In recognizing that aspect of standing watch and knowing what it is that we value, we are believers. We have been redeemed of God. And we are the just that are living by faith. That's who we are. And we're now standing watch, which means we have been given an assignment. So my question is, who are you? What are you doing? What's your assignment? What are you passionate about? What's allowing you to get up in the morning and allowing you to live? What's giving you what you need, that extra push to just go in the day, and though you're hurting, what's causing you to smile? What is that? Where does it come from? What has ignited your passion? And from there, we're going to start talking about what it is to stand watch. In the Navy, we stood watch to gain or to guard that which was of value to us. And that was our assignment. And in standing watch, we made sure that we were equipped to not allow anyone access that was not pre-authorized to the space. We did not give them access if they were not pre-authorized to the space. And in parking lotting right there, a lot of us have so much value, but we look at ourselves as everyday people. And yes, we are human beings. We are everyday people, but I need you to realize that you are valuable. What you have is special, not just to you, but you are special to your family. You are special to the family of God. You are special to your friends, those whom you work with. You are of value in this world. And if you were not, you would not be existing. Your life means something. And now that you are being made aware of that, I challenge you to stand watch and guard who you are. Guard your spirit, guard your soul, guard your energy, guard your vibes, guard everything about you so that those who do not have access cannot get close enough to do you harm. And now let's move forward from there. Let's move forward. In this verse, it starts off with man talking to God. I will stand my watch. That is my commitment. My commitment to God, I am of my Father's business. and I will do my part. Whether you're a preacher, whether you're a singer, whether you play instruments, whether you pray for people, whether you encourage people, or you just have what it takes to give someone a hug and they automatically feel like everything's going to be all right. Whatever it is that your assignment is, stand that watch. And it says, and I set myself on a rampart, which means I have picked up a post. And I realized where I'm supposed to be, and I'm going to stand there with my chest poked out. I'm going to stand there as strong as I can be, as proud as I can be, because the only thing that the only thing that's of value is not just what you're guarding. The reason why you have been chosen to guard that is because you're valuable to the whole mission at hand. I now, as a senior pastor, I guard what it is to be a senior pastor. I do my absolute best to make sure that I'm not bringing shame and reproach to the assignment. And there's passion there. There is a level of respect there that goes beyond how I am able to express it. However, most of my expression is in how I protect it. It says I'm standing my watch, and I'm standing there, and I'm standing my watch, and to see what he will say to me, see what the Lord will say to me, and what I'll answer when I am corrected. While on watch, I'm very vigilant. I'm looking at everything that's around me. If it's in my line of sight while I'm on watch, that means it's of my care. If it is in my range of hearing, it's in my care. And anything that sounds as if it is going to be contrary to the well-being of where I am, then I am equipped to respond to what I see and what I hear. That goes with everything about us. Our energy, our vibes, our family, our friends, everything that we love. That's what we do. We stand watch. But now let's take this to a spiritual place. Let's take this to a spiritual place. While I'm there, knowing that I'm of the Lord's business, I'm not just standing there on just trying to stand there as a guard. I am not just an officer just standing at the gate. I am a vessel, and vessels need to hear from God. So while I am doing my job and while I'm trying to do what I'm called to do, I need to be able to have access to the Spirit of God so that when He speaks, I know how to respond. So part of what I'm doing is I am planning, because I'm not just standing there hoping God speaks. I am living this life knowing that God will speak. And when He speaks, I have planned to answer. I have planned to be in a place in my life where I can respond to the call of God. I can respond to the voice of God. And even if when He speaks, if I'm hurt, my plan is to still be able to respond and say, God, whatever it is that your will is for me, I am willing to live it. Grant me the grace to do such. Moving on, because I don't want to get sidetracked. Moving on. It goes on to say, now verse 2 stops at, and what I'll answer when I'm corrected. And corrected actually translates to what I will answer when I'm instructed. When I'm on watch, I am waiting for instruction. I can actually receive instruction from my superior, being that I'm of my Father's business, or I can receive instruction based on how I'm approached by a friend or a foe. How you approach me gives me instruction to respond to you accordingly. We can talk about that part another time. I definitely just went off into left field. But y'all got that. That's yours. Whoever want to preach it, you go right on ahead. But something happened between verse 1 and verse 2. Verse 2 starts off saying, "Then the Lord answered me and said." This tells me that there was an experience between verse 1 and verse 2. Something happened while you were on watch. So let's talk about my experience for a second, and then I'm going to pause. I'm going to pause there, and we'll pick this back up next week. But on watch, I'm having experiences. Part of my experience is listening for what's around me and listening for God and being able to determine who I'm hearing and what I'm hearing, why I'm hearing it. In my experience in standing watch, life continues to happen. Life does not stop because I'm on my post. Life does not stop because I'm studying to preach a sermon. Life does not stop. Life goes on. In my experience, in my preparation, there have been some hurt, there have been some woes, there have been some uh-ohs, there have been so many things that have gone on that just should knock me off of my focus. However, I'm seeing that as I plan to respond to the Lord, some kind of experience takes place. Some people are complaining about their experience. Woe is me. I don't like this. This isn't fair. Life shouldn't feel like this. Love shouldn't feel like this. My family shouldn't act like that. We're standing watch, but we're complaining about the things that we're seeing. Here's our turning point right here. Here's our turning point. If you're standing watch and you are experiencing life, your experience should birth something in you. There is no reason in life that you should be waiting to hear from God, and during your experiences, all you can experience is hurt and woe is me. That should not be so for the believer. For the believer, where you are in life, your experiences should ignite something in you. It should birth the next place of your ministry. It should birth what excites you about life, because if you can choose what's right and wrong, if you can pick out what's wrong in life, that means that something in you should ignite a passion to right that which is wrong. What is in you that is irritated about how you're living and how people are living around you? What is it that irritates you? From there, your irritation should be the birthing of your passion. It should be the birthing of who you are. It should be the birthing of your next level of strength. Your experience should birth something in you. So this is where we're going to pause right here. Something happened between verse 1 and verse 2 that caused God to respond. Verse 1 talked about me and my preparation. And then there was room for God to move because I prepared for him to move. Then verse 2 says, then the Lord answered, which means I planned, I had an experience, and then the Lord answered. He answered my experience. He responded to my experience. And he says, from your passion, from the place where you want to right wrongs and make the world a peaceful place, he said, from there, write it down. He says, write the vision. And I'll leave you with this. Because of this experience, your response should be to simply write what you've seen. Write what you have seen. You've planned for this. You've planned to hear the voice of God. You have planned to have an experience for him. And then between this place and that place, there was an experience. Something happened there. How are you going to respond? And can you still hear God in that experience? When God speaks, he says, write the vision. The Lord answered me. He answered my